Yo, yo, yo. Here we go. Game 5. Utah. Choke job yesterday when I played the Thunder. Was a little distracted during that game.
At home in Utah, the Jazz never fail to go out of their way to look good and their best. Here was their entrance to the arena earlier on. Welcome, everyone. We have a very special treat for you here. No trick, it's the NBA on Halloween. It's a special October 31st matchup. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me at the table, Greg Anthony and Richard Jefferson. And we've also got Hall of Famer David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. And the starting group for the Spurs. Up in the front court, it'll be Vassell and Barnes. Paul out there with Fox. And it's Wembanyama in at the 5 spot. And for Utah, in it forward, it's going to be Markkanen and Collins.
What y'all got going on this weekend?
It's George and Sexton. And it's Kessler
last weekend of Fiesta here in San Antonio.
Great, and this game should be a treat.
Yeah, fun holiday makes for a fun
I reduced Chris Paul's minutes, so hopefully the auto subs will pay attention.
Paul with the ball for the Spurs.
Pass to
Vassell. Back to Paul. Here's Wembanyama. He's covered by Kessler. Kicks it out to Paul. Lets it go with a 3. Rebound, Utah. On this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and they lost the season series to this squad last
also
time
gave
around.
less minutes to Wesley because he had way too many minutes.
Now, here's Sexton.
And they gave those to
on score 13.
Mamu.
Off target with his 3. San Antonio with the ball.
Actually took all of Wesley's minutes away.
Pass to Vassell. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Vassell's got the first bucket of the night, a 3-pointer for the Spurs. Richard, last season marked the 5th consecutive year that the Spurs missed the playoffs.
And this drought came directly after their historic streak of 22 consecutive playoff appearances. But the silver lining in this stretch is that it allowed them to draft a generational talent in Wembanyama.
Vassell. Spurs working now with a new shot clock. Stolen by Kessler. Markkanen against Paul. Here's Kessler. And there it is for him.
And you got to like the vision for Markkanen. I mean, a big man who knows how to find the open man.
Over in the corner, Barnes. Here's Vassell. Drains the 3-pointer.
There you go.
Vassell's got his second basket of the night.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
Outside, Sexton. Collins finds Sexton. Jazz passing it around. 3-pointer, Markkanen. San Antonio with the rebound. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Yeah,
there you go, Fox.
Spectacular plays.
First replay.
It right to the very end.
Well deserved.
Just couldn't get over the hump.
And that is why coaches preach about
happy
the details.
Halloween.
The margins in this league are razor thin.
Here's George. After the basket by San Antonio. Can't connect from 13 feet out. Paul passes to Wembanyama. Kessler with the rebound.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
First quarter of play, we're about 3 minutes in. Shot clock at 6. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation.
Can't be camping down there.
Leaderboard to see the teams that blocked the most shots in the NBA last year. In the 3rd spot, the Spurs.
It was an intimidating brand of defense they played. They sent the message that if you were going to get your points in the paint, you were going to have to work for them.
Jordan Clarkson is checked in for Utah. The Spurs also with the sub. Gasol's checked in. Barnes dishes to Paul. And the 3 off target. Jazz trail by 4. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Talked to Will Hardy a little while ago, and I asked him, how do you contend with the size and skill of Victor Wembanyama? He said, every night we see this guy do something no one has ever seen before. It's kind of like dealing with the unknown. A whole new kind of player needs new schemes.
Rookie of the year.
Some inventiveness out there on the defensive side tonight, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And Will Hardy calls timeout here. He's ready to talk things through with the team.
All right, it's about time to pull Chris Paul out and see what happens here.
And the Jazz with some changes. Filipowski, he's checked in for Walker Kessler. Lowry Marketing comes in for John Collins. And it's Collier in for George.
All right, Paul's out. I like it.
Come on, fans, I can't hear you. Let's hear it for your Jazz High Squad.
Nice work,
Here's
auto
Collier.
subs. So far, so good.
Outside, Markkanen. Trying to get something going. The rebound by Champagnie. Spurs leading by 6. Right wing. Here's Castle. He's guarded by Markkanen.
That's what I'm talking
Castle's so good up and down the lane.
The Jazz have gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%. Knocked loose. Here's Collier. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Sohan finds Johnson. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Kyle Filipowski. That is his first foul of the game. And Utah making a change here. Sensabaugh is checked in.
Number 28, Bryce Sensabaugh.
And San Antonio has possession. Pass to Wembanyama. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Maybe the most hyped teenager since LeBron James. Wembanyama is the poster child for upside.
2 shots.
He hits the second from the line. And so Clarkson will bring it up for the Jazz. They trail by 7. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
And in terms of intensity, they kind of took the night off. Looked like they were just going through the motions.
Yeah, you hate to be critical, but that's part of our job. You have to call it the way we see it. That night, they were flat.
Good effort,
And
boys.
so it's the San Antonio Spurs heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Pop.
And if you're just joining us, we've played
No
through one
mas.
quarter in this
The end
one.
of a
And
legendary
before we move
era.
on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Making it as difficult
didn't know
as possible
Pop
for the offense to find clean looks.
No
Great
longer the
stuff.
head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. He officially said he's not going to do it anymore.
Spurs leading by
Can
7.
you blame him?
Well, Greg, over the last few seasons, one area of consistency for the Jazz has been their rebounding.
Yeah, and they have some size, and they make controlling the boards a focal point. When you're playing Utah, you better be ready to put a body on somebody.
On the court right now for the Spurs, the forwards for him, Johnson and Sohan. Castle is out there with De'Aaron Fox. And it's Mamu Kelishvili in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
A fine
I like this
shooter
lineup.
from deep. Clarkson has a good feel for when to let it fly.
Fox kicks to Johnson. Sohan finds Johnson. Here's Mamu Kelishvili. Kicks it out to Johnson. Shot clock at 5. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
What physicality from Johnson
KJ.
down low, throwing his weight around and getting past the contact.
Here's Collier, guarded by Fox. Here's Clarkson. Knocks down the step back J. Clarkson's got 5.
That was big because they dug a
Keldon
big
Johnson,
hole in
the
the first
longest
quarter, but starting
tenured
to show
Spur
signs of life. They say the
right
vertical
now
is where
on the
Castle
team.
lacks a bit.
I think he
Show me
is.
where it lacked there.
What up, Gilbert?
Here's
Appreciate
Clarkson.
you.
17
Yep.
points for him last game against Sacramento. And Will Hardy calls timeout here.
The Spurs don't
He wants to check in
implode.
with his team
Hopefully I
and
can sail
regroup.
to a win here.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. De'Aaron Fox stays in attack mode. He says people don't want to guard somebody that's going to attack them on every possession. They can't get that break. Can't take any plays off. His speed, Kevin, that is a lot to deal with.
It's going to be exciting next year.
Ton, David, to deal with, no question. EA, thanks. Martin, he's checked in
Next
for
season, I
Markkanen.
should say, this
Harrison
year.
Barnes, he's checked in for the Spurs. Chris Paul comes in for Keldon Johnson. That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket for Martin. Spurs have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Fox passes to Barnes. Good, and a nice assist from Fox. Barnes has got
What you
himself
get
going
paid
there.
to
His
do,
first
Barnes.
points of the game on the deep ball. Richard, you talked about the fastest players in the league. De'Aaron Fox is in the running, and I say that literally.
Kevin, he is at his best when he is attacking the lane. He's a lefty that is a tremendous finisher, and his floater, arguably, might be the best in the game.
San Antonio leading by 8. Here's Fox, and he banks in the layup. Fox has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Fox is the catalyst.
Pass to Zanzibar. Hutton the screen for the 3. Barnes grabs the miss.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
Shooting foul
make that
as the whistle
castle.
blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And guys, hold on now. I'm getting word we have Shams Charania calling in. Shams, what do you have for us?
Thanks. The Spurs are great at drafting and developing, and in selecting Stephon Castle with the 4th overall pick, they've made a play on its upside. He's a versatile wing defender. Shooting and his position were the question marks. Can he be a primary playmaker? Will his three-pointer prove to be reliable? Guys will see, but the Spurs are very excited to bring Stephon Castle into their program.
A star talent.
Thanks, Shams.
Hey, Shams, we so appreciate the reporting you gave us right there. Thank you. And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things
This will be the
over.
last NBA 2K25 with Pop on the sideline. Got the dance cam. Yeah, check out these assholes. Yeah.
Let's see.
Why didn't they rename the team? Seriously.
Ollie
Jazz,
Markkanen's checked in
Utah.
for Clarkson. San Antonio also making some changes. Wembanyama, he's checked in for Jeremy Sohan. And it's Vassell in for Fox.
Like that.
Paul passes to Wembanyama.
Oh, you go up like
Goes
a
back up.
softie.
Easy money for
There
Wembanyama.
you go.
And defensively,
dunk it
they're
in his
on
face.
their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Jazz trail by 10. Collins a screen on Paul. Sexton on the wing. Collins kicks to Sexton. Off target from three-point range. And so it's Vassell who brings up the ball for the San Antonio Spurs. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Paul dishes to Barnes. Here's Castle. Offline with his 3. The Jazz have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. That's a 2 from Sexton. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor.
Finds
Now
the
2 for
hole.
5.
And it's pretty evident that Sexton has a solid jumper. It just needs to keep taking and making it from there.
To the middle. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so
Going
they
in
will
anyway.
award the basket there.
Yeah, that's
That's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
Jazz trail by 10. Outside, George. That 3 off the mark.
That is not a guy you want to allow open looks from range. Lucky for the defense, he just couldn't get it to go.
The kick out to Barnes. Vassell was screen on Collins. The 3 from Barnes. Markkanen pulls it in.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Bobbed up there for Collins.
That's where Castle.
Vassell right side. Sinks the 3-pointer. Vassell's got the lead up to 13 now for the Spurs.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Always plays hard until the final whistle, no matter what the situation is.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside,
what up,
get
y'all?
shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Damn, what's up,
Thanks
Twitch?
very much. Here with Greg
What's up,
Popovich.
YouTube?
Pop, what did you see in the first half?
We had ball movement. You know, we weren't in mud. The guys were in attack mode. Nobody held the ball. You know, you pass, catch, or shoot. And we did that a lot in the first half.
Yeah, you had them swiveling, Coach. Thanks for your time. Back to you
What was
guys.
that?
Thanks so much, David.
Generic
We'll step
answer.
away briefly, but get you right back out here for
Was
the
it
start
Pop?
of the third
Was that
quarter
really
after
Pop?
this break.
They got the most generic recording of Pop they could find. I mean, this game's a collector's item. Last time Pop will be in a video game.
It is a wonderful night for basketball and a wonderful time to get a quick, wonderful rundown of how the wonderful West looks early on in this wonderful season. Is that too many wonderfuls?
No, you're wonderful.
Look here now at Utah.
It's wonderful
They're
that I
letting
can
the
skip
losses
this.
stack up. It can dim your confidence
Can't I
and your
skip?
playoff chances.
What's going on?
They need to make.
There we go.
Changing focus now to the tough first half for the
Can I not
Utah
skip
Jazz.
this?
Losing the rebounding battle.
You want me to put the
Thanks
whole
for
bench in
joining
the
us.
fourth?
Now let's toss it to Kevin.
All right. Let's see what we can do.
And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. Nice game. Great performance by Devin Vassell.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
I like how they came into this one with a game plan, and they're just going out and
I may have to
executing
put
it.
the entire
Terrific
bench in.
job.
Wing pair will be Sexton and Markkanen. The pairing
Don't
up
wanna
front,
risk injury.
it'll be Collins and Kessler.
blowout.
And it's George in at the point. And that's the group for Will Hardy as they begin the second half. Chalk up 2 there. RJ, so often with rookies, we want to judge them after half a season. We're not very patient with them. How long should we give players to prove themselves in the NBA?
Well, there's a different type of prove yourself. If you're talking about a rookie, I was taught after about game 60, you're no longer a rookie because you played every team, you understand the
I
defense.
can get in front of him.
You might be a little
Stuck behind
fatigued,
him.
but after that, you're no longer a rookie. But to judge them, if they can play in this league, it can take a couple of years.
Vassell, no good. Jazz trail by 12. Teardrop shot. Up again. Controls the
Come on,
rebound
get in
and puts
there,
it back
Wade.
up and in.
And this has been a nice start to the second half. They're 3 out of 4 in a rhythm on the offense right now.
And the basket by Vassell. Vassell's got 11 points.
And shooting-wise, he's been fantastic, helping to build this lead.
And Will
First
Hardy
game,
is called
it's the highest
timeout.
scoring
He wants to
game of
talk to
Vassell
his
this
guys.
season.
You know what time it is.
Here is the 2K leaderboard with last season's top passing teams. The Spurs second.
Ball movement was one of the keys to what they did
Didn't-
last season.
yeah.
Every squad talks about
They
teamwork.
had ball movement,
These
but no
guys
wins.
backed it up.
And it became very clear very early, RJ, that Wembanyama is legit and a very special player. Generational.
You never know until those first few games, but it was immediate how different Wemby is going to be. He has already met those lofty expectations that we all had for him.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Hey, Kevin. Greg Popovich is guiding a young Spurs team that's hoping to return this franchise to dominance. They saw 5 titles since 1999. Pop said the standards haven't changed. Be very direct, demand, be fair, and love them. They got to know you care about them. So it's all the same formula from 25 years ago to today. Kevin?
It's an interesting story, David. Thank you. Of course, as a Hall of Famer, you bringing that to us? Perfect.
Playing with aggression inside. At times, it's like Markkanen is daring the defense to foul it.
Castle's checked in for San Antonio. Richard, one thing is for sure with these Spurs, a lot of top free agents have got to be looking at him now as a destination.
It doesn't take a lot of skill to see that Wemby is a different type of player. And look, if you are a free agent,
Richard,
that's the player that you want to look at to say, hey, can I team up with him and go on a string of championships?
I'll tell you, they're right in this. We'll see if they can maintain momentum.
Things are firing on all cylinders for them right now. We'll see if they can keep it going.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Now George, still without a basket. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game for the Jazz. Lebowski, he's checked in for Collins. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for George.
Where is the money, Lebowski?
Sexton finds Kessler. Here's Clarkson. And
Not
the
in my house.
rejection by
Not in my house.
Another
They're slamming.
rebound hauled in.
I'll
They're
take it.
hitting the glass
You had an
with a
opportunity there,
lot
too.
of passion. A bigger guard,
By
6'6"
Slamma
Castle
Jamma.
can just overwhelm defenders. Impressive for his age.
Pass to Filipowski. Back to Clarkson.
Filipowski.
Shoots the 3. Rebounded by
Where
the
is
Spurs.
the money,
At
Filipowski?
one point, they led by 16. Paul passes to Wembanyama. There's 1:26 left in the third.
Smooth.
And he uses the glass on the layup.
Very aggressive.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. A different look for Utah. Sensabaugh is checked in, and it's Collier in for Markkanen. San Antonio also making some changes. Jeremy Sohan comes in for Barnes, and it's Johnson in for De'Aaron Fox. Spurs leading by 13. Here's Castle. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7
Yes,
shots.
Sexton.
And now you see them
Walking
starting
right
to really
around
work
you.
the ball inside.
Clarkson with the ball. He has 5. And the layup's good off the glass. Clarkson's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Chris Paul
And
out of
savvy
energy out
inside play by
Sit him
Clarkson.
down.
Getting
I took his
himself
minutes
a look
away for a
right at the
reason.
basket.
Kicks it out to Paul. Back to Wembanyama. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Johnson will not go. This is off the front eye.
Terrible possession.
And so Sexton will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. It's a 13-point game. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And
There you
taken
go,
away by
Keldon.
Johnson. In transition, here comes San Antonio.
Slam it.
And the
Take
basket
it.
by Castle.
Take it.
Castle's got 6 points in the quarter.
And the potential Castle has is intriguing. When he's scoring like this, you wonder how dominant he can be moving forward.
Deep 2 from Clarkson. And
Good
the
D,
last
Johnson.
second attempt does not go in for him. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Spurs lead by 15. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments.
Boom, boom, boom.
And let's go back to a terrific pass
Be the
that we're
coach
calling
here.
tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feet. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
That's an unguardable pass.
All right. Put the bench in, huh? How do we put the bench in? It's like a situational thing. Thought there was a way to just change the bench.
That's flat out. Give him credit for possessing that type of vision.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened.
They'll be coming in,
on the floor for San Antonio starting the fourth quarter. The forwards for him, Johnson and Sohan. Fox is out there with Castle. And it's Mamu Kalashvili in at the 5 down low. Clock at 6. Utah needs to get off a shot here. A shot by Clarkson, no good.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been
I think I have Fox
charts.
on my bench as well. He's like an all-time player.
Here's Castle. He's covered by Clarkson.
Wesley out there.
Right side, Fox.
Wesley's a
Pass to
liability.
Sohan. Misses the 3. Jazz trail by 15. Here's Collier. And the shot goes in. Collier's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Jazz.
If the defense lets him inside, he will not hesitate. He'll gladly drop that thing right in the cup.
Sohan finds Fox. Back to Sohan. Here's Castle. And he lays it straight in.
Getting the step
Just
on
no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Collier. Traps in the tray.
When he has enough space, he's more than comfortable letting it fly from outside.
And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. And he wants to see some changes out there right away.
Yeah,
and right now.
Get rid of Fox. Put in. I guess Wesley's my next best point guard, right? Put in Wesley.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. San Antonio making a switch here.
in.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. While the team is up, Coach doesn't want his team to let up. He told the team to finish this game. Do not think this will be easy. We've seen comebacks before. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. Here's Mamu Kalashvili. Pass to Champagny. Wesley against George. 5 to shoot. Champagny passes to Wesley. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Castle misses. Jazz trail by 12. Sexton for 3. And again, it's the Jazz from deep.
I don't know what Coach said.
Let me down, bench.
But his shooting has been tremendous here in the second.
All right, you're letting me down. See how long it takes for the auto subs to be like, nope, starters need to come back.
Jazz have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. Spurs leading by 9. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Wesley the pass to Mamu Kalashvili. And here is Wesley. Fires it up. And it's Mamu Kalashvili missing.
That is not a bad decision.
Problem with the real Spurs.
It was just a
Bench
little
kinda
bit off with the
blows.
execution.
George finds Markkanen. Back to George. Collins setting the pick for George. No good with the triple.
Questionable shot selection on that 3. Not really helping as they try and narrow the deficit.
Pass to Champagny.
He should be starting.
1:56 left in the fourth quarter of this one. And it's Mamu Kalashvili missing. Jazz trail by 9. And George, here we go. Sexton against Wesley.
Oh, there you go.
Jams it straight down.
taking matters
Goddamn
into
time.
his own hands.
Yeah, we didn't expect to see that kind of finish.
A point
Didn't
guard
Wesley
getting
say
up
he,
like that,
he tries to
boy,
dunk
that
it
is
every time he
special.
goes to the rim, no matter what?
And so George will
said
bring
that.
it up for the Jazz.
Like,
Here in the
bro,
fourth,
will
they've
it
allowed
produce?
just 4 points. Left side, Markkanen. Outside, George. And it's George again missing.
Gotta find easier
Time to
shots
shine,
when you're
Wesley.
already struggling. That's not gonna get it.
Pass to Sohan. Here's Castle. Got it. Good job in the low post. Castle's got 10 points here in the second half.
No
That's a
question
good
as to
game.
which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for San Antonio.
Look, their big advantage was points in the paint.
And they found a way to pound the ball inside, and that was working all game long.
And during the long NBA
Why would you
season,
bring the
each
starters
contest
back
important
in?
here
What's going
tonight.
on
Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And
Just
against a
risking
conference
injury.
opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Collins setting the big for George. Another miss by Utah.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
Wembanyama outside.
Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop.
Pass to Paul.
Oh.
Stolen by George.
Wrong dude. I meant to throw it to Fizdale in the corner.
7-second difference. Shot and game clock. The Jazz again can't hit it. Fox against Collins. Now, here's Fox. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Spurs lead by 15.
Nobody could stay in front of him. Jazz suck. Sorry, Utah fans.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
4-1 now.
It's time now to go
I believe that's
courtside
my
as we
record.
send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Chris, big win tonight. What do you think was the biggest factor?
I mean, I don't know. It was just our defense. Obviously our offense fed off of it. Guys made open shots, but I think we really locked down defensively, and that's what we're trying to make sure is that we're a defensive team every night.
Well, you were a defensive team tonight, Chris. Thanks for your time. Kevin?
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. Richard Jefferson, Greg
Castle.
Anthony, and David
Oh, that's
Aldridge.
surprising.
This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching
Thought it
tonight's
would've been
game
Fox.
on 2K Sports. Now it's time to present our player of the game.
Nice. A quiet game there. Quite 17. Damn. Fox only had 10. I thought he scored way more than that. Sal finally woke up. Wembanyama had 10 rebounds. And Chris Paul continues to suck it up. 0 points. Let's see who. Yeah, go Spurs, go. Thanks for watching, Gilbert. All right, let's see here. We got the T-Wolves up next. Let's see what their lineup looks like. Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards. All right. Check the standings here. 4-1. That's right. Until next time, when we're playing the T-Wolves, I may stream again later today, so be on the lookout for that. Appreciate all you people in here. Good weekend. It's a nice day outside in San Antonio, so I may get out. Got to walk the dog. She's been cooped up all day watching me stream. I feel bad. Boom, boom, boom. We can do another LG's House, my talk show podcast, whatever you want to call it, on Sunday night. Decided to do one Sunday night, so tune in for that. Hopefully we'll do it before any playoff stuff starts. I think the games are during the day anyway. But yeah, thanks for tuning in and have a good weekend. Peace.